We are Nick and Linz. During the last 14 months, we have been traveling around the world to try naturism in every different continent, except for Antarctica. But now that we have left Australia, I guess this is it?
This is it?
We have just left Australia, which means that now we officially tried naturism in every continent in the world.
Yes.
Well, except for Antarctica. We need to keep saying this because otherwise always somebody will point it out.
So we just thought it would be a great opportunity to reflect on the things that we learned in the last 14 months and also share with you some feelings and some behind the scenes things that didn't make the video.
We're not just doing this for you, we also enjoy doing this. For us, it's a good way to think back and to see how we started this 14 months ago and where we are now. With the end of a quest also starts the beginning of a new one, and we have been making quite some plans for the next months and for 2024, but that's something we will tackle later in this video. Maybe let's first look back at all that happened in the last 14 months.
And I will start with a confession. We cheated with Europe. Yep, that's right. The last 14 months we didn't even try naturism in Europe once. And we have a good reason for that, actually. Just because during COVID we spent a lot of time in Europe, and then all of a sudden the borders open up again, so we just wanted to escape Europe and try naturism in all the other continents of the world.
Well, we did make 2 videos about Europe.
Yes, that's true.
There was my solo trip from Istanbul all the way back to Belgium, but there was not a single bit of naturism in it. But on the other hand, in the last 14 months we tried naturism in 2 new continents, in Oceania and in Africa.
To give you some statistics, the last 14 months we've been to 14 new countries.
And an additional 5 during my solo trip.
Yep, we've been to 35 naturist resorts and 42 naturist beaches.
And that doesn't even include all the other naked stuff we've done.
Yeah.
The cenotes in Mexico, the island in Australia, the swimming holes in the Daintree, the striptease trail in South Africa. There's so many cool stuff we've done in just a short amount of time. When we look at the videos that have been published on this channel during this period, there's no less than 71. And then there were an additional 16 on our Destination Clothes Free channel.
And that was not even the purpose, because we specifically said at the beginning of 2023, we're not gonna start any new projects.
Of our whole Trying Naturism in Every Continent of the World series, the video with the most views was...
Drumroll?
Drumroll. Going clothes free in Pattaya.
Bam!
Where the close second was Oliver Beach and then followed the nude beaches of St. Martin.
Yeah.
The thing is, that statistic kind of surprised us because going clothes free in Pattaya was a bit of a strange video to make. We filmed most of it inside Chan Resort, which is a very difficult resort to film. So most of the time we were just sitting there and talking. But apparently it was appreciated. On the other end of the spectrum is the least viewed video of the series, and that is...
Also drum roll?
Small drum roll. My solo travel part 2. Apparently people don't like us to see apart.
No, I also don't like us to see apart.
Like to see us apart.
Like to see us apart, yeah. See, it makes me emotional.
But as a second, the crazy markets in Thailand, and after that was pretty much every Thailand video that had nothing to do with naturism. So we can conclude that you don't like to see stuff about Thailand that's not naturist. But statistics are just numbers, and sometimes the YouTube algorithms start promoting a video that you didn't really expect to fly. And on the other hand, sometimes a video that you're really proud of just doesn't do anything at all. So we came up with 6 more categories just to give you more insight into what really happened and basically who we really are. So category 1, the most fun video to film. Mine was Tulum with Angela.
Yeah, mine was definitely driving the 4x4 on the nude beach.
I totally knew that you were going to pick
that was awesome!
The 4x4 on a nude beach was a very unique experience, and I very much enjoyed this as well. But I was not on the driver's seat, I was a passenger in that video as well as in the truck. So that's why it didn't make my top 3, but this was one of the
best, the best one to film. I loved it. I'm still super excited about it.
The Angela video, on the other hand, that was the first time that we actually included somebody in a video, but seriously, not just film somebody, but who actually had a third participant. So for us, technically, it was already fun to film.
Yeah.
Just it was new, it was different. We had to work with 3.
And I mean, it was also just fun to be around with Angela. Angela is a fun girl.
Well, that's the thing. We spent most of our time together with the 2 of us. And then you get to travel for, I think, 2 weeks together with somebody else, and it clicks.
Yes.
It's fun. Was a good experience. Next category, least favorite video to film.
Oh yeah, mine was the Dead Railway. And the reason why is because I just didn't have any connection with the topic at all. And I'm not saying that the history is not interesting, but it was just, for me, I didn't have a connection.
For me, it was living the high life in Cambodia. And that may sound a bit strange because we do all these cool things. We go to Siem Reap, we go drinking, we go to Angkor Wat, and we probably smile a lot in that video, but to be honest, some of these smiles were not 100% real. You know, we were at the moment that everything got too much. We were exhausted, we were doing a million things at the same time, and we were very, very close to a mental breakdown. And maybe it will trickle through in that video now that you know. Maybe you will see it somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't a secret that this happened, because the next video after this one was this.
Places like this can have an interesting effect on people, and that is especially what happened to us. From the moment that we arrived here, something happened. This was a difficult time for us because we know at one hand we are very privileged to travel the world and meet and see all these beautiful places and people and try naturism all over the world and all the continents. But on the other hand, we also felt very lost and disconnected and very, just emotional. So we took a step back, recharged our batteries, and we learned some lessons. We definitely did. And even now, just talking about it, it feels very weird because I don't want to complain, because trust us, we know that we are privileged to do this as a full-time job and call it our job. So I don't want to complain. It's just that we needed that time to reconnect, recharge, and just do things differently. And now I can really say that we are in a better state of mind.
Luckily.
Absolutely. And so we learned our lessons and we're doing just things differently now.
Next category, video we are most proud of. And for me, that's the hurricane video in St. Martin.
That's my second option. Yeah. For me, it was the hottest naturist club.
That was a good one too. Rototown Naturist Club in New Zealand is spectacular, to say the least.
Yeah, and hot.
But the thing is that we heard all these different stories about making food in the ground and hot springs and squeezes and glowworms, but we had no idea what to expect. So we just went there with an open mind and just filmed everything, hoping that we could build a story from it. And then there was Paul, who was just a super kind guy who helped us along.
Yeah.
This was indeed a really cool video to film.
Yes. And then the hurricane video, exactly the same thing. We had absolutely no idea what was coming towards us. And I mean, we have never experienced a hurricane before. So we just tried to film how we felt, our emotions. We were a little bit scared. We were also a little bit bored because we were just waiting and eating and waiting for the hurricane. But also just, to see the connection with the people, to see how Tess and Hugh were handling all things. And we hope, and I think we did a pretty good job, that we made a good video about it.
Next category, most difficult video to film.
I have the I need to stop video, but I already explained you why.
I had the why we don't like group tours video, and It was so difficult exactly because that's why we don't like group tours. You're just being guided in all these directions and they make you do some things you don't really like to do.
Take a picture with the tree.
And that makes it all very difficult and there are all these other people you have to take into account. And yeah, of course, we can be lucky. This video are clothed people. It gets a lot more difficult when it's with naked people. But of course, we don't really do guided tours with naked people. But that was for me the most difficult video to film. We don't like to pick favorites, but due to very popular demand, in fact, I think it's the question we get the most is what is our most favorite place?
Drum roll?
No drum roll.
No drum roll?
Zipolite.
Zipolite.
We pretty much agree on this
Yes.
one. But of course, I have to say we are very biased. We've been to Zipolite a couple of times already. We spent 3 months there during the first COVID wave. We literally know the place inside out. We have friends in Zipolite. So our experience is much different than all our other experiences where we just go for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 days to one place.
Zipolite is here.
But you keep asking us, so there it is, Zipolite. But maybe we should also look at the number 2s.
The runner-up.
The runner-ups.
Yes.
For me, it's Florida.
Ah, yeah, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we went to Florida with no expectations at all.
No, it's true.
That's we get a lot of negative news from the United States, and it's also from the naturist world. Clubs are closing and beaches are moving away. So we went to Florida with the lowest expectations, more or less. And what we found were amazing beaches, amazing clubs, so many nice people. We met so many cool people. So that's what makes Florida really step out as one of my new favorite places of this trip, of course.
I get it. For me, it's St. Martin. Just because I had absolutely no idea how St. Martin was, and just to see all these different cultures and foods and just the way people live is just incredible. I always thought that St. Martin was a very posh island, and that you had to be very, very wealthy to go on that island, but it's absolutely not true. And the beaches are insane. The food is incredible. The people are so friendly, and it's just a weird mix of everything on that island. So
yeah, we know St. Martin from the holiday brochures. We just picture the hotels and their own beach, and that's the idea we have with St. Martin. And in fact, we had the same idea about Dominican Republic. And when we went to do Cambium, it was also a very big eye-opener. I think that there is a difference between a favorite place and a memorable place, in the sense that favorite places are more places where you could spend longer times, maybe go live there one day, whereas memorable places are just a source of great memories, even if you would never want to live there. For example, my most memorable place was the island in Australia.
For me, it was South Africa. Just a combination of the people, the nature, the animals, and the safety aspect for me was South Africa. It blew my mind. The nature is spectacular. The animals are just unseen. I've never seen so many animals in the wild in my life before. And the safety aspect was very interesting because for us as Europeans, we don't have these safety issues. So South Africa was a real eye-opener on that matter for me.
I had South Africa as my second place. And also because mostly the game parks and the fact that we celebrated Christmas inside of a game park was magnificent.
I forgot about that already,
So it wasn't memorable.
But it was, just in different ways.
But the most memorable for me was the island in Australia, just because it was so different from anything else we have ever done. Just go living naked on an island for days, that's...
Were you afraid?
I was a little bit afraid, like it was a lot of very strange feelings that you're not used to. Just in the end, it's Australia.
So, what's next? To make sense of our future plans, we first need to talk about Destination Clothes Free, because I just have the feeling that we name dropped it somewhere at the beginning of this video. So, what is Destination Clothes Free?
Well, Destination Clothes Free exists thanks to you.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people started sending us very different messages. Some of them said that they enjoyed our vlogs and how we talk and visit places, but didn't really like the very long resort tours that were sometimes included.
My famous resort tours.
And other people were big fans of the resort tours, but had no interest in what we ate or the other stuff we did. So we felt that there was a difficulty in our videos and that these parts needed to be separated. So we created a whole new channel just for resort tours, and along the way also came beach tours. But unfortunately, we stepped straight into the same trap as we did with all our previous projects, and that is just starting doing it without a plan. And yeah, sooner than later we just had to stop publishing new videos on Destination Clothes Free just because it was a really good idea, but we just didn't have the time for it. What is really interesting is that the Destination Clothes Free videos actually get quite a lot of views. Often even more views than videos on this channel. So it's becoming a bit obvious that Destination Clothes Free cannot just be a project for whenever we have time. And this brings us automatically to our future plans. We have always believed in consistency and consistently publishing a new video every single week. And not just because the YouTube algorithm seems to enjoy this, but mostly for ourselves, because it's like a stepping stone. If you miss one video, it's more easy to miss another one and another one. And we do have kind of a tendency to get lazy.
But not every video that we published we made with the same passion or with the same feeling. We didn't always made it for us with like this extreme, how do you say that, like energy. Some videos we just published because there was another Sunday coming up and there was another video planned.
And even the videos that we made with passion, some could be much better than they were, just because we rushed through the editing. So, long story short, here on this Nick and Lynn's channel, we're going to stick to consistency, but we're going to change to one video every 2 weeks instead of a video every 1 week.
But Sundays will never be lonely. You still have the chance to see our beautiful little faces every week, because if we don't publish a video on this channel, there will be one published on our Destination Clothes Free channel. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, ding ding ding, you can do that here.
Travel-wise, I think that we've ignored Europe long enough. So we're heading back and we're going to Spain, where this YouTube channel actually started. So we're going to visit more nude beaches, more resorts, more cool stuff to do. But that's not going to be for our next video, because our next video is going to be a live Q&A, yes, where we're going to answer all your questions you have about everything we talked about, all of your ideas, all the questions you have about anything else, or if you just want to see us talk for an hour live, you have to join it. Yeah,
you have to join it, and you have to subscribe our channel, and you have to like it and everything else. And I mean, this is it, right?
This is it.
This is it. This is our last video.
Our quest is over.
Our quest is over.
And so is our intro.
Yeah. So maybe...
one more time.
One more time.
See you, bye-bye.
Bye. We are Nick and Lynn's. For the last 5 years, we have been traveling to some of the most amazing naturist places on the planet. And now we embarked on an epic journey to experience naturism in every continent of the world. Subscribe and travel along with us. Right now we are in